Steals on the right hand, pulls up, three that's short, ricochets into the face of Brooks, who comes down with the rebound, pushed up the floor. Fenton handing it off to Crummy. Crummy gets denied by Southall. Another opportunity gets denied by Steals, out of bounds. Back-to-back blocks and rejections by this RIZE defense.
Yeah, RIZE is up to it early on. I mean, you figured that message about last night's defensive performance is hitting home, so let's see if they can keep doing that.
Inbound play works in terms of the reception, but Brooks can't connect. Turnover at center court, meanwhile, and a shot that goes off the mark by Grant Fenton. And the rebound goes to Steals. Pushed up in transition, Guyton. Now to Tull. Tull to Southall. Tic-tac-toe, and put two in. We finally have our first points of the ballgame.
Yeah, great vision there all around for RIZE and getting that finish under the basket.
Fenton handed it off to Brooks. Brooks penetrates on the left hand. Lost control of it. Southall, right place, right time. Steals to Tull. Stops his dribble. Three on the way. That's off the rim. No good and out of bounds. It'll be out on the RIZE. It'll be PK Flash basketball, 14:07 first half.
Yeah, and I'd like to see PK Flash have a good possession down here. It seems like they've been getting to the rim and then just panicking and throwing it up. Let's see if they can get a shot.
Saw Southall finishing on the replay there, and now an out-of-bounds moment for Flash that will turn the ball over back to RIZE.
Once again, just not a good possession. They can't just keep throwing it away, throwing it somewhere else, throwing it at the basket. They got to shoot it and have it go in.
Steals. Southall fed down low. Mamadou Kane back outside. Good ball movement to Tull for a triple, and he drains it.
Yeah, that's just a great job knowing where your shooters are. Tull on that wing, he's going to make that. It's a great job by RIZE.
Driving inside is Fenton, and up and fouled. We'll send Fenton. RIZE getting the three to fall for Connor Tull. Three on the way for Brooks to respond. He cannot. Steals gets the board, led it ahead to Kane, and then a quick foul for Keno Brooks as he was in the grill of Mamadou Kane trying to receive that pass.
Yeah, tough call there, but you like the physicality from Brooks trying to do something, turn that ball over in transition.
Steals. Hands it off to Jameer Guyton. Kane ISO'd a defender and can't come up with the mid-range. Fenton up the floor. Drew contact the last time up, moved it outside to Brooks. Brooks lost control of it. Drew Steals gets a steal. Steals with it, going all the way to the rack and earning a trip to the line for Drew Steals.
Yeah, Steals with a great take, just attacking the basket, taking the foul.
We've seen Sharman White, head coach for RIZE, call four players over before in this AAU circuit as Steals goes to the line with just PK Flash players along the floor.
Yeah, I think that's just such a tough job here if you're Sharman White, AAU setting, right? You've got to create a team out of players, right? You come here as a player, and you have to leave here as a team. So he's been able to do that. They've had some good ball movement thus far, so just a good job so far for Sharman White.
Pulled away with the win yesterday in that win over Steeltown. Fenton with PK Flash trailing 7-0. Someone, it was Guyton who fell to a wallet, no call, but splashing in a deep two is Keno Brooks.
That was like the first good look that PK Flash has had all day, and go figure it goes in. So that's what they've got to do. They've got to find good looks. They can't just keep forcing stuff.
The battle of attrition is going to also play a part into this one, too, with PK Flash not having nearly the bench that RIZE has. They've been accustomed to 5-on-5 off.
Yeah, so you'd think that means the Flash need to have a quick start here as they get the layup to go, but RIZE has been pretty solid on both sides of the ball.
That was Fenton who had the layup. RIZE sets up offensively inside of 12 minutes. Tull, another triple, and another splash from Connor Tull.
Yeah, Tull just finding the open space, going up with it, and getting it in.
That three off the mark from Brooks. Fenton was right place, right time, moved it out to Walden. He misses a three, and big rebound there by Mamadou Kane, throwing the body around there. Out to Tull, Tull inside to Southall, and off the window for two more.
Just up and down the floor, RIZE winning the transition battle, especially on offense.
Jump ball called, and the arrow favors RIZE at 11:08. Drew Broderick will check in, the only sub for PK. Will give Keno Brooks a breather.
Yeah, and Brooks needs a reset. He's missed about 3 threes from the top of the key there. And that's a look that PK Flash is going to need to get to go in this game. So good job there trying to settle him down, get him on the bench for a minute.
Kane off the window, battling and getting two more to go.
Yeah, and with such a young player with that size and Kane, it's just about getting him to take that shot. The more he takes that shot, it's going to go in when he shoots it. So just developing him into getting that shot up more often.
There's Crummy on a floater off the front of the rim, no good. Moved back outside. Denied and down low. Walden got rejected. RIZE, meanwhile, sets things up. Mamadou Kane conducts the offense. Inside, double teamed, and jump ball. Nice job by PK Flash tying up Kane and earning the arrow.
Yeah, Kane showing that he can do great work against one guy, but the second guy comes to defend him, he just is kind of shut down. So that's the point where he needs to pass, and he's done that a couple times. He did that the one time to get Tull the open three, and it went in. So he's just got to recognize and feel the presence of the second defender and dish it off.
10 minutes to play here in the first half. Brooks after a short breather to Walden. Walden draws defenders, bounces it inside the paint, then dishes it right back off to Walden, and Walden can't get the roll. Kane got the board. Outlet to Steele. Steele's almost lost his footing, was able to regain it, pulls up at the elbow. That doesn't fall. Pushed back up by Fenton. Crummy, deep three off the rim, no good. Walden tried to tip that away, but it was received there by Brandon Pickett. Pickett freshly into the game for RIZE. Pickett showing what he can do in the lane. Floater rims out.
Yeah, that was a good look, good take, but you need the finish for it to be successful.
Brooks, little crossover, drawing. And they say he shuffled that foot one too many times. Travel called.
Yeah, it seems like every time that PK Flash gets it in the paint area, the entire RIZE teams collapse. But so far, the Flash unable to kick it out and get those three-pointers. So it's just about ball vision and recognition for them.
Kane, foul line extended to Brooks. Around the horn, three-ball corner pocket for Steele, gets his own rebound. Back outside to Pickett. He'll try a three, and this time he'll convert.
Yeah, good job not giving up on that for Steele. Knew it was short, went to get it. And then they get the three ball out of the possession.
Fenton tries a three. That's back iron. Out of bounds off of Rise. Stays with PK Flash. As we see Eric Cracion enter the game. We get a timeout with 8:16 to go in the first half. Rise leading 17-4.
Yeah, it seems like Rise has just had a very good start in terms of physicality. They've really just been getting in it against PK Flash, and for PK Flash, they're just going to have to try to find good looks. You know, a lot of their shots have been throws at the basket. They haven't been getting set. They haven't been, attacking the basket the entire way. So they're going to really have to start picking up the pace on offense.
Yeah, they've come out firing on all cylinders, both offensively and defensively. Certainly a different script than the one that was played out last night. See if this Rise squad with 3 available bench players in comparison to the now 2. I think we have a late arriving player for PK.
And at this point, they're going to take that there. Normally, you'd be upset your player's late, but
no.
At this stage in the game, you're going to need all the help you can get off the bench.
Fenton, Brooks, Crummy, Walden. Walden drives left hand, switches to the right, can't finish.
And once again, he got to the basket, overran it, and just threw it up. It was not a good take.
Gracie on, dishing out. Pickett, triple. Doesn't go. Southall finds the rebound, but it gets ripped away by Keno Brooks. Long pass, too long, overcooked and out of bounds.
Yeah, good job by Brooks getting in there, being physical for that rebound, but just got a little bit too excited, saw the man down the court, could not get a good pass on him.
You see Chris Toll check into the lineup for Rise, along with Isaac Sumare. And Sumare can't chase that one down. Loses it out of bounds.
Yeah, that went right through his hands. You just come here. It's early in the morning for these guys, the high schoolers on a Saturday, so you got to wake up and get ready to play ball. You got to lock in early.
Scarton bouncing inside, up off the right side and drawing a foul. Send PK Flash to the line. 7:02 to go here in the first half.
And that just shows, right? You go to the basket, you go the whole way, you commit to it, you get a good shot, you get rewarded with the 2 free throws.
Hustle in, you guys in. Guard, big back, big back. Come here. Come here, you two.
Second shot converted. Hall gets it across over to Sumari, who loses it out of bounds.
Yeah, second straight possession there for Rise where Sumari loses out of bounds, and that's going to give him a trip to the bench.
Charlie Crummy across the timeline. And it's going to be an over and back violation.
Good defense there by Pickett, just trying to continue to force him back just a little bit, knowing how close you are to the timeline. And he just gets him to step on it, gets the Rise possession.
It's always, as he checks out, and Dad is the coach, so always a different element. Charlie Crummy, the head coach of Taylor Alderdice during the high school season. 3 on the way for steals. That's off the rim, no good. Rebound taken by Brooks. Brooks contested coast to coast and earns a trip to the line. After that trip coast to coast, and it will be Guyton picking up the foul.
Second straight possession here for PK Flash. Right at the basket. Not settling short. He went right for it. Here he is again. At the line.
Brooks converts his first. Crummy returns as Brooks converts at the line. Tall gets it over to Pickett and off a few hands. Sumari, or I beg your pardon, Cracion, the last to touch that one. So turnover there.
Third straight turnover for Rise, and let's see if this momentum starts to shift a little bit here. PK Flash trying to get back in the game.
Twin brothers trade places. Connor Toll comes in for Chris Toll, and Mamadou Kane checks in for Eric Cracion. We get a foul here. Pickett.
Charlie, take it up. Post it, King. Post it.
Inbound goes right into Brooks down low, and Brooks can't get the bucket to fall, and that's been the MO here for PK. They get it down low, have not been able to convert here. Kane hounded. Back out to Toll. And Pickett can't trace down that pass. Another turnover for Rise. PK takes it over. It's Crummy back to work. Crummy in the lane. And get it to fall.
Crummy got there, but he stopped short, and instead of kicking it out, he just turned around, threw it up, hoped it went in. Didn't.
Meanwhile, on the other end, Jameer Guyton puts 2 in. Walden can't finish around the basket on the other end.
Pace is starting to pick up a little bit here.
Yeah, Grant, you might not even notice, but 35-second shot clock. We haven't had one issue with that as Connor Toll puts the floater on the baseline in for 2.
Yeah, I haven't even looked up really at that yet. They're just...
Hasn't been a factor.
Yeah, they're just getting their shot.
3 on the way from 3. That's Dom Scarton. Out of bounds. Southall returns for Rise. Grant Fenton back on the floor for PK Flash. Connor Toll does the inbounding duties to Drew Steele. Kane pulling up at the foul line. Can't get it to fall.
That's a shot that if Kane can start to develop, and that's why he's here, to work on a shot like that. If he can get that to go, he's going to be lethal.
Yeah, that becomes a power 4 conversation very quickly.
Yes.
Put back opportunity good there for Kylan Walden. Connor Toll eyeing up a triple that doesn't fall. Steals, no look pass. Southall off the window, fouled. Trip to the line for Rob Southall.
And I liked their southpaw right before he put it up. He looked out to Connor Tall, see if he had the passing lane to the open three, realized that he didn't, and then he went up and got fouled.
First one is good for Rob. Most of these guys rising sophomores, will be sophomores next school year. PK running the perimeter, now a three on the way that doesn't fall. Back up strong for Scarton, that can't fall there either.
Box one.
Out of bounds. Say off of Rise.
The Rise defenders, they were just all around there, not giving that shot any chance.
Far side wing three, that doesn't fall. Southall was there, then he threw it off the backboard. It figured its way out there, but
Yeah,
certainly not how he drew that up.
Kane is not that tall. He might look it, but he's not 10 feet tall.
Toll will get charged with the travel there.
Get up there with the here, screen. Horn.
Crummy hands it off to Fenton. Now three on the way for Scarton. That doesn't go. Kane pulls it down. Kane. Errant pass out of bounds. Another turnover.
Yeah, that pass looked like it was going to be impressive out of the hand, and then you just look down the court, you see no one's there, and you start to wonder, well, what was he doing?
Scarton to Fenton. Cross court to Crummy. Scarton, three on the way. Airballed it. Steals, gets it to Mamadou Kane. Now to Tall. Tall quickly to Southall. Southall along the baseline and knocked out of bounds there by Crummy. Stays with Rise. 2:31 to go in the half. Brooks checks back in.
That was going to be the right pass there for Southall. He just waited too long. That would have been an ideal transition possession for Rise, getting everyone involved, finding the open look, but you've got to make that pass quickly.
Intercepted by Brooks. Brooks the steal and the jam.
Let's see if that starts to get Brooks and PK Flash going, because that was pretty good steal. He made sure he was out in front of the pack and slammed it home.
Authoritative for sure. 2 minutes to go. First half. Southall up strong, but blocked there by Woden from behind. Fenton escorts it ahead. Moved it back outside. Driving inside, and that got that block nicely done by Drew Steele. Southall starts his dribble, gives it back to Steele, who's double team, moved it to Kane to Southall. Nice up and under move, but just too much off the window. Brooks back the other way, out to Crummy on the near wing three, and he splashes it home.
Here we go. They're going up and down, but now it's PK Flash that's coming away with the buckets. It's back to an 8-point game now.
Baseline jump shot for Toll. Can't connect. Fenton. Out of bounds. Pickett and Tracy on return.
Guys, the timeouts for half. So
Zone option. We're good. Make our shots. Space, zone option. Right back, right back, right back, right back.
Deep three that's off the mark there for Scarton. PK Flash trying to chip back into this one. Rise with under a minute to go here in the first half. A little head fake there by Cracion. Cross court to Pickett. Pickett another three that's short. And out of bounds off of Rise. So another opportunity for PK to trim the deficit. They're back into single digits.
Yeah, every time that PK gets these possessions here, when it feels like they're starting to trim down, but they don't cash in, it's just a huge missed opportunity, and it feels like even though it's not, the Rise lead expands.
Three for Crummy. In and out. 30 seconds to go. Steals up the floor. To Kane. Mamadou Kane to the rack.
Yeah, he finally just used his size and made sure everyone got out of the way. You do not want to be in his way there.
Brooks thought about the three, decides to penetrate. Misses, 6 seconds to go. Steals up the floor. Down to 4, down to 3. Steals up and fouled with 1.8.
Just a disastrous last 40 seconds for PK Flash. They had it down to 8. They give up that bucket, and then they go down there quickly, force a shot, doesn't go, and now Rise has a chance to make it 12 at the half.
Steele's second is good. And a last-ditch effort. 27-15 at the break. Rise leads PK Flash. We'll step aside 5 minutes and we'll come back with second half action. Stick around. Our presentation of RIZE Basketball continues on JRM Sports. And we'll welcome you back inside the RIZE Sports Complex with Grant Kellich, Matt Fargo with you. RIZE leading 27-15 at the break. Grant, your thoughts on the first 16?
Well, I think the key to the first 16 minutes has really been finishing off possessions. I feel like RIZE has done a good job of making the extra pass, getting to the rim, earning trips to the line, doing all of that. And for PK Flash, they've just been turning it over halfway to the basket, right? They get to the outside part of the paint. They don't get all the way into the basket. They don't make the extra pass. So certainly chances for adjustments to be made in the second half, but so far RIZE has just been playing more fundamental basketball.
Yeah, they certainly have been up to the task both offensively and defensively. I'm sure for Sharman White and the RIZE coaching staff, more appreciative of the defensive effort in this first half than they were when they gave up those 10 3-pointers in the first half yesterday.
Yeah, it's important to have your message be sent, right? As I said at the beginning of the game, right, you're playing on two ends. You don't show up to AAU basketball thinking, all right, I'm ready to play some defense. But you got to do it, right? There's no offensive and defensive exclusive players in basketball. You got to play both ends of the floor to be a good player, to be a complete player. So let's see if RIZE can keep it up in the second half.
Another 16 on the board. PK Flash comprised of players from Alderdice, Fox Chapel, and Seton LaSalle. We also have a Latrobe Wildcat on the squad, where RIZE mainly comprised of Swickley Academy players. That one loose, thrown into traffic, and a steal for PK. Getting things going here in the second half. Crummy. Brooks, guarded by Steele. Brooks looks to penetrate. Back outside. Benton, driving, stopping, moving it out into the corner. Three on the way that doesn't go. Crummy couldn't connect there. RIZE back up the floor.
They didn't get anything, but that was a complete possession.
Three hit. Connor Toll from outside.
Now, you don't need to have a complete possession if you got Toll wide open. That's the shot that RIZE would take every single time.
Crummy can't have that one roll in. Long pass to Guyton inside amongst a bunch of defenders. Draws contact in a foul. That puts Jameer Guyton at the line. Tall and Steele's already awaiting action in the forecourt.
Yeah, they're ready to get back on defense, as it looks like Crummy is all the way back in the corner. So make sure you don't lose sight of that one guy roaming back there.
Guyton converts. Brooks up the floor now to Fenton. Crummy on the baseline. Guarded by Toll. Worked it inside and to get two to go.
Yeah, that was a good pass. Realized he had two on him. The open guy happened to be the closest guy.
Back outside to Steele. Toll. Near side, Guyton. Far three that doesn't go. Inside, Southall, yes.
That was impressive ball movement there from RIZE. Just making sure that they got two open looks. And if you can do that here at this AAU level, then you'll be all set for the season.
Brooks fading away, draws a foul. And Brooks at the line. A couple subs here for PK. Short. Southall outlets. Pushed up to Tull. Bouncing back to Southall. Guyton back to Tull. Into the corner. Guyton three. No. Rebound back to PK.
That one really would have put this game in far reach, that three-pointer, even with 13 minutes left.
Shot that's off the mark for Walden. Brooks in the lane. Not enough on it. Oh, a nice rebound.
Unfortunate to see that hustle play, saving that ball in bounds, not pay off with a basket.
Tall to Guyton. Guyton the floater that doesn't fall. Fenton chases down the loose basketball. Lost it, did Brooks. Kane comes away with it. No look to Guyton. Guyton the delay and the bucket.
Yeah, Guyton knew exactly what he was doing there. Stopped at his spot. Defender ran by him. Easy two.
Three on the way and splashed in. PK Flash hit another triple here.
They're going to need more where that came from over the last 12:30.
Kane thought about the long-range shot, moved it inside. Now Tull will attempt one, and he'll deliver.
And those are the two guys you want to have the chemistry for RIZE. Kane just doing a great job finding his three-point shooter.
Stop and pop. That one doesn't go for Brooks. Guyton off a few hands and then take it away for Flash. Brooks against Kane. That battle is a Mamadou Kane win. Comes up limping a little bit as Guyton chased it into the corner to Steele. Steele drives and is fouled as Kane comes up limping.
Yeah, Kane had the big block, but he's just wobbling around here, holding that left ankle. He's going to stay in the game.
He's still limping around there.
Yeah, I mean, I would just give him at least a minute here. No reason to risk further injury.
Kane has it now. Almost got it taken away from him by Crummy. Steals in the corner. Short. Gets his own rebound after it popped out. Long rebound there and resets the offense. Kane attempts the three that doesn't go. Scarton threw it right to Connor Tull, who said, "Thank you very much."
Yeah, that was just not a very good pass.
And then there's a little bit of a push there.
Yeah, right in front of Coach White there. He's asking the official for that one, gets it. And now Kane is going to take a seat.
Chris Toll will check in for Connor Toll. Connor's three-point shooting ability. High percentage.
Everything he's really been touching so far has been gold for Rise. If it's open, it's over. It's going in.
Shumari, first time no, second time no, third time that doesn't go either.
Did a good job of staying with it, though. Didn't give up on the play till the end.
Fenton moved it outside to Scarton for a missed three. Cracion, long pass ahead to get it over to Pickett, who lays it home.
And that stretches this lead to 20 now, as we have a whistle.
Everybody's kind of standing around not knowing what happened there.
Yeah, not quite sure at all. It just seemed like normal play, and then
whistle, and yeah. Crummy fading away. Crummy, that looked beautiful.
Yeah, he made a mid-air adjustment that was just perfect. That's a great shot for him to be working on right here.
Taken away on a steal there for PK. Fenton chases it into the corner. Walden. Back outside, three. Doesn't fall for Crummy. Steals. Cracion. And Steele's back with it. Steele's on the ground, on his wallet. Timeout.
Yeah, it's a good timeout there. You want to make sure that ball doesn't end up going the other way for an easy two. You got the 18-point lead. You just want to make sure there's no momentum plays.
So the timeout taken here. 41-23, Rise to the advantage over PK Flash. Drummond White, you see there, of course, his association with USA Basketball. Brought home gold in the U17 games in Istanbul in 2024. He went 7-0. Wealth of knowledge for these young hoopers.
Yeah, and that's just an incredible opportunity for all these players just to learn and grow here under Sharman White. Just so much to pick his brain about and get in there and be able to show it right here in front of him. Just a great opportunity.
Coached at Miller Grove High School in Atlanta. Finished 31-3 in his last year. Got a bid to the Dix National Tournament. Was named the 2016 National High School Coaches Association Coach of the Year.
Wow.
Out of the timeout. Back to action. Drew steals. To Tull. Chris Tull tried to work that one out. Gets taken away by Scarton. And a basket. PK Flash convert another.
Yeah, what that timeout was called for to avoid ends up happening anyway. As Rise turns it over, PK Flash goes down the other end.
Rise triggers it in here. Steals. Gracion, 3. Off the mark. Walden. Scarton inside. Hounded a little too much, according to the officials. Is Samari going to get card for the foul here?
Yeah, that was a good fake. Go up, draw the contact.
Scarton will be at the line here for PK Flash. Guiding back on the floor for Rise. That one tipped and taken away. Fenton. Errant pass. PK comes away with it. Crummy. Down to Walden. Back up top. 3 on the way for Scarton, and finally he finds the bottom of the basket.
And all of a sudden we have a big offensive possession for Rise. With Connor Tall and Kane not on the floor, a little bit of a run.
Fading away. Bucket and the foul. Brandon Pickett.
Yeah, Pickett answering the call for the moment. Big bucket plus the foul, and we'll have a timeout.
Yeah, PK Flash going to take the timeout. Looks like Coach Crummy wanted a word with the officials. (43-29), Rise the advantage. More action for you coming up at 2 p.m., about an hour from now. I have another matchup. .7:49 to go in the second half. Foul shot coming for Pickett.
This is going to be a big 3 minutes here. Get down to 5 minutes. It's going to really determine how the end of this game goes. If PK Flash can win it, they'll be in this game. If Rise wins it, this game's pretty much over for the last 5.
Crummy eyes up a 3 and he splashes it in.
And there's a good start there for PK Flash in this pivotal time period in this game. Let's see if Rise can now respond.
Pickett. Under duress there, got him away to Guyton. Guyton hounded with the basketball. Pickett gets it back. Over to Tall. Chris Tall, a 3, and he answers. Big time 3 by Chris Tall.
And Chris Tall just bringing it there, crushing for PK Flash. All that defense goes to waste. Wide open look.
Far side 3 that doesn't go for Scarton. Tall hands it off. Gracion Doesn't get the roll, but he recycles his own garbage. Gets the 2 to go.
Yeah, now it looks like RIZE starting to extend that advantage here.
Another 3 on the way, though, to try to trim the lead. Fenton comes up empty.
Yeah, big miss there.
What a find. Sumari goes up and under, can't connect. But what a throw there by Cracion.
Yeah, that pass was incredible. Unfortunately, Sumari unable to get set for that finish. Just moving too much as he's shooting the basketball.
Roderick outside to Walden. In traffic, Fenton can't get it to fall. He gets his own rebound and pulls it back out. Alert play there. And whistle away from the ball. They said the shot clock shouldn't have reset. Ball didn't hit the rim.
And that was a big whistle there.
Yeah.
Not on a basketball related thing, because now 6 new players checking into the game across both teams.
And RIZE brings in a whole new set. 8 seconds to shoot. Down to 3. Worked it out into the corner. At the shot clock buzzer, it was no good, but it went off the rim. A putback opportunity by Brooks doesn't fall. Another offensive rebound. Brooks sends another to the rim, and this time it falls.
Yeah, long possession there. First time we've heard the shot clock horn, but they do get a basket out of it.
Guyton battling and getting the roll.
Yeah, that was a great job. Take it to his right, get that runner. That's a shot that he would like to make every time.
On the left hand, beautifully finished by Scarton.
Yeah, Scarton's been settling for a lot of 3-pointers. Finally just put his head down, went right to the basket, got 2.
Steals. Out to Toll.
Come on, Keanu, man up.
Connor drives. Lost it between the legs and taken away by PK. Crummy. Ball movement by the Flash. They get it out to a 3. And Scarton shows he can also still hit that 3. Timeout. PK Flash, they take their last timeout. 4:03 to play. And the Flash not going away have trimmed the deficit once again to 11.
Yeah, big shot there by Scarton, realizing he was open. Would have been better for him to just shoot that one, got it to go.
Take a look at some of the RIZE offense. That was the big 3 hit by Chris Toll. Cracion recycling, and Guyton. Gritty floater there on the baseline.
Yeah, those are all tough shots, very impressive here, and they've been very important because, you know, RIZE has really been keeping their lead, but it hasn't been easy for them. They've been needing a lot of baskets because the Flash offense is starting to pick up, so they're going to need to keep making shots. It's not just like they can just cruise to victory with this 11-point lead.
Yeah, it seems like every time PK has got it down to this amount, RIZE has woken up again offensively and re-extended the lead. It's the most I've seen coaches talk to officials through the AAU circuit. As assistant coach for PK has been chatting up the official all during that timeout.
Well, I think it sets a great example for your kids that, you know, we're taking this seriously as coaches. You've got to take this seriously as players in terms of winning and losing. It's not just all about you.
RIZE with it, under 4 to go. Tull to Kane, back to Tull. Pulls up, Can't get it. Put back opportunity. Southall found it. Got it right back to Tall. He moved it to Steele. Steele throws a three up. That doesn't go. Rebound out of bounds off of Rise.
That possession there, Rise, they looked really good rebounding. They were like where the defense should be on rebounding. They made PK Flash look like they were on offense. So everyone in there to rebound, but couldn't get a basket.
PK out to the corner. Scarton, a three in the corner.
Big shot there by Scarton. And it's looking like we're going to have a ball game down the stretch. 3 minutes left.
Sumari Guyton in the corner to try to answer. It doesn't fall. Rebound ripped away one more time by Brooks. Fenton. Scarton. Runner on the baseline. Put back in. It rolls out. And Kane was there.
Yeah, that had to go in for PK Flash. Timeout there. Great timeout by Sharman White. I was thinking for sure he would take one if that shot went in, but I like that he took it even though it didn't. You're at the same spot. You get to reset your team, make sure that you're all good here. 2:25 left.
Yeah, Rise takes the timeout. Leading 8 by 8, 50-42, and tip of the cap to PK. They're not going away, and they've not gone away quietly today.
Yeah, they've done a great job staying in this game, hitting timely shots, but it's just been tough because Rise has done such a great job on the offensive side of the ball. It seems like every time that PK hits one of these big three-pointers down here, Rise has a response, so let's see if Rise can get a big bucket on this possession.
First one black, first one white.
You know, the different side of the AAU circuit from what these guys will be accustomed to in the high school game is you still have the shot clock. You can't just hold the ball. You know, an 8-point lead in high school basketball sometimes is a little bit hard to come back from because teams can hold the ball. But with the shot clock, that creates a little bit more of a difficult scenario here.
Yeah, especially where they were coming from the playoffs. You're up 1 with 3 minutes left. That's a huge advantage.
Right.
But now up 8 with 2 minutes left. That's nowhere near as big.
It's going to be a foul.
They had one more to give there. So good job getting into the bonus right away in case they need the foul down the stretch.
That was Brooks picking it up. There's steals. Into the corner, Sumari. Sumari back outside to Tall. Tall hands it off to Kane. Right back to Tall. Tall feeds down low to Southall. Nicely done.
They used every second on the shot clock and got an open layup. That was perfectly done for Rise.
Three that doesn't go for Scarton. Rebound loose. Rise almost secured it. Brooks regains it. Taken away neatly by Sumari. Sumari to Guyton. Back to Sumari. Back to Guyton. Off the window for two more.
Play and catch. And the final one to catch it is the net.
And a foul here on the floor. Minute 17. And once again, Rise rising to the occasion here.
Yeah, they've just done a good job. Every time it's important for them, they've shown up. Trying to finish here over the last 117.
Back outside. Fenton. Under a minute to play. 3 on the way from the near side wing, and another 3 from Scarton.
Yeah, he has just been owning that corner as of late, getting them all to go.
Toll trying to answer. Rims out, but a putback beautifully by Sumare. Nicely done to finish. Brooks can't connect. Rebound, Rise to Toll. Toll all alone, laying up. Misses the layup. And a rebound out of bounds. We'll say off of Rise.
Yeah, tough last couple shots after a great night from Tall. 2 open looks, couldn't get him to go, but don't let that take away from what he's done today.
"13 seconds to go. Brooks short on the 3, and that will be the way this one comes to an end. Rise wins it 56-45 over PK Flash. Moves to 2-0 on the weekend. And really well spread out from an offensive perspective for Rise today. They had contributions from everybody, including the guys coming off the bench.
Yeah, Rise did a great job of just making the passes that they needed to. Not a lot of selfishness out there today, and the thing is that as they continue to play together, that's going to happen more and more often, and I was just pretty impressed by Rise today.
Well, we'll have more Rise basketball coming up in just under an hour, coming up around 2 p.m. But until then, for Grant Kelledge and our entire JRM production crew, I'm Matt Fargo saying thanks so much for watching this edition of Rise Basketball on JRM Sports. Until next time, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time here on JRM.